You're watching Newsview with Lee Sullivan.
Welcome back. Newsview, visiting with Ron Hart, syndicated columnist. Mr. Hart says, most of the money spent on you, healthcare-wise, last 6 months of your life. What I want to know is, how do you figure out it's the last 6 months?
If it didn't work out.
How do you know?
Funeral arrangements are a part. Hospice is a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of money on healthcare.
Sure.
And a lot of focus on it. And you made some, when we were off air, you made some points that I think are invaluable as part of the discussion. The old people seem to discern that maybe all of this is not for them anymore.
Sure. Yeah, I think this fight is not about health care. In my view, it's about freedom and the role of government in people's life. I think we've hit a boiling point with these town hall meetings that people are just tired of government taking and overextending themselves into our lives. And not that Bush didn't do it with the TSA and the wiretaps and some third. And most of what Obama has done, which is why I stopped being a Republican and a Libertarian, was set in motion by a weak Bush administration down the stretch, the bailouts, the funding, et cetera. Not health care, but the other stuff. I think people want their freedoms and they want independence. You talk about 1/7 of the economy here being hijacked by the federal government. The same federal government that can't do the cash for clunkers program, can't pay people back. The same one that can't do any sort of entitlement program without being corruption. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae hastened the real estate meltdown. So they've proven they've done nothing well, and we're going to give them the most important thing in our life, our health care. I think most people are rejecting that.
So there is our congressman who was going to have a town hall meeting that became a forum that became nothing at all, says he's coming back, Congressman Boyd, between the 15th of October and the 15th of November, I believe.
He's going to go see if pitchfork wounds were covered under his health care plan.
Right. So one would assume either he's not coming back or the vote's going to be after the November election.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to forestall any bitterness. I mean, people live in Washington. These congressmen, they go to Washington and they get wined and dined, their egos stroked. They don't like to talk to their constituents. They want to communicate to the constituents through a PR department or through an ad campaign where they got the American flag behind them and they just kind of BS them around and they write their own narrative how great they are. They don't like to deal with people one-on-one. You see very little of that, and it doesn't go well when they do it.
They might have had some epiphanies getting back in with the peasants, the serfs, the peones, and it has not been pleasant for them.
It has not been pleasant. People are also mad because they don't read the bills. These are lobbyist-written bills that are written by these little murky subcommittees of Pelosi's office that puts entitlements, pork barrel spending and different handouts within them. And it's a clandestine operation that people don't like, and they're tired of it. And Conyers, the Michigan congressman, said, look, I don't have time to read a 1,000-page bill. Now, this is the most ominous, most important bill of all time. They got a stimulus package, so 10% of the money's been spent on this stimulus package. It hasn't worked. It's awful. It was just handouts to Obama constituencies, primarily blue states that needed things. Everything's politicized. People don't trust them. They shouldn't trust them. They have no history, no credibility at all.
One of the elected cockroaches has said that why should he try to read it when he would need to have lawyers to ask him what it meant?
Right. It's their writing. They're supposed to be writing these things. And the other thing is, most Americans wouldn't trust their congressman to run a church bake sale. I mean, these people are not very accomplished people. They're not trustworthy. They're just politicians. They're glad-handing politicians. And they misjudged this deficit by $2 trillion. How do you miss something by $2 trillion?
On that, remember, those are my views. What are yours?